Hello. All right. Today let me hit this present. Today we're covering Book 2, Unit 7, Grammar number 2. And so this is called causal verbs. All right. That's everything we're studying today. Causal verbs. Again, it kind of comes from the one thing to remember here is the word causal. Again, kind of an example, because we were late because there was traffic. Again, the traffic is what caused us being late. So this word causal, all of these words, again, kind of make action happen. So these are, you kind of make some or get somebody else to do something. So again, make, we're using it as, you know, like if you make your kids clean their room. I had a doctor give me an exam, you know, because I was sick. Again, because I let somebody come in my home allowed. All right. And then you got help and get. We're going to, again, look at all these. And so, again, just kind of explaining the name, causal verbs. We have 5. Make, have, let, help, get. So kind of the structure, and here, again, show an example, a little bit of an example for each one, is my mother makes me cook dinner. My mother makes me cook dinner. So again, going with the causal is that action is happening. I cook dinner because my mother made me. And kind of noticed here is, with the S, my mother is a third person singular. So if I'm talking to myself, that's first person. If I'm talking to somebody in front of me or talking to somebody on the phone, that's second person. When you're not first, second, everybody else is third. You're talking about somebody else. And so when it's one person, sometimes you need to add the S if it's one other person or one other thing. So notice that's why, because my mother is one person, we have all the S's here. It's what, you know, related to that. So let's look at have. So my mother has me cook dinner. A little bit different than make, means they might have asked me to cook dinner. All right. Next one, let's. So this might be coming from maybe your younger sister. She wants to learn to cook. My mother lets me cook dinner. So the mother has allowed, given permission for somebody else to cook dinner. And this other one here, next one, my mother helps me to cook dinner. So this one's a little bit, they're assisting, they're doing some of the work. That's what helps me. So all these are related to, again, related to people. It's kind of like this word can be, I made a painting. Well, again, it's I'm making it. But you could say a pet. The dog made a mess. So this is, again, when you're forcing, this word, getting somebody else to do something. And the last one, my mother gets me to cook dinner. Right. So with all of these, notice that with the help, this to here in parentheses, that usually means it's optional, and that's what it means here, is that, so you can, but notice these first ones, there's no to, so that can help you on the test or the quiz. Pay attention. We have a base verb, and so does it have a to in front of it? If it has a to, then it's got to be one of the last two. Right? If it doesn't have a to, then you know it's one of the first three: make, have, let. And then get absolutely has to have a to. So if it has a to, you can eliminate the last one. Or you can, it has, so if it's got a to, it's got to be one of the last two. If there's no to, then it can't be the last one. Again, because it's optional, help could be there. So if you see a to, you can immediately kind of, okay, the first three can't be applied here. Now we're going to look at each one, the exact meaning of. So here, make means to force somebody to do something. They don't have a choice. Okay? So if you have a son and you say you have to clean up your room or you're going to be punished, that's where you're forcing your son to do something. So again, it's force. They don't have a choice. So again, the structure, we have a subject, make. Again, this can change tense because it could be made, could be makes with an S. So object, and then you have a base verb. So first one, my school made, past tense, my school made us wear uniforms. So somebody's talking about, maybe they're in college and they're talking about their high school. My school made us wear uniforms. Again, wasn't a choice. They were forced to do it. Okay? The next example here, my parents make me clean every weekend. My parents make me clean every weekend. So again, clean is the base verb. And so again, we've got, since it's every weekend, makes sense that it's present tense here. Third example, she made her brother apologize. All right, so probably an older sister, that's about the only thing it can be here. She made her brother apologize. So the brother did something wrong. Probably, maybe broke something, maybe it was too loud. And so this either young lady or she made her brother apologize. So again, in the past tense. So she forced her brother to apologize. So this is kind of saying she didn't give him a choice. If he didn't do it, he was going to get in trouble. So make is force. They don't have a choice. If you try to make somebody do something and they don't do it, that's kind of, they'll get in trouble for it. There's some problem they're going to have. This next one, have. Have means to ask or pay someone to do something. They are responsible. So the object here, again, same kind of structure. Subject, have, object. So the object, whoever, whatever, or whoever, that's probably better to say whoever's in this spot, is going to the person that does the work. It's no longer the subject. So again, let's look at the first example here. He had his hair cut last week. Okay. So he had his haircut last week. So again, past, as we got had in here. So of course, he asked a barber to cut his hair, or he most likely paid the barber, unless he was good friends with the barber or something. He had his haircut last week. So here they're describing, but he had the barber cut his hair. So this second example here. Muhammad is having his coffee made at Starbucks. Muhammad is having his coffee made at Starbucks. So again, Muhammad is not making the coffee. Some employee at Starbucks is making it. So again, he's asked or paid someone else. The teacher had their class write 3 paragraphs this week. The teacher had their class write 3 paragraphs this week. So again, the teacher didn't write the paragraphs, the class did, the students in the class. Right? So again, past tense. So this one is you ask or pay somebody to do something. And you need something done. And so this is not force. They're either, helping you or they're being paid. So but another person will do the work, is responsible for it. Let, okay? Let means to give somebody permission to do something. I like the word allow. So that's what kind of allow means. You give permission. You are allowed, to leave early. So again, we've got the same structure. We got the word let, so subject, let, object, base verb. No to in this first 3. Make, have, and let. There are no to. So if you see a to, you kind of know it can't be these guys if you got it in front of the base verbs. So Zainab lets her son play video games all day. Zainab lets her son play video games all day. So she allows her son to play video games, whether that's, again, a lot of time could be wasted. Maybe he should be studying, but Zainab allows. Now, again, we have the S on this one because Zainab is one person. Again, first person is when you're talking about yourself. Second person is when you're talking to somebody on the phone or talking to somebody directly in front of you. Third person is anybody else. So, and when it's one person, that's when you have to use the S. When it's third person, singular, one. So Zainab is. Right? Our teacher doesn't let us talk in class. So in this case, we're saying gives permission, but this is saying the teacher doesn't give permission for us to talk in class. Okay? So a little bit different. And that's why we don't have the S on here, because it's a negative statement. If we got rid of the negative, our teacher, if you said let, needs to be S, lets us talk in class. All right? So his parents let him get a new car. So his parents allowed him to get a new car. So again, give permission. So again, make, the first one is force somebody to do it. They don't have a choice. Have is when you ask somebody or pay somebody, but somebody else does it. Let is, again, allow or give permission. And there's no to. Right? Let's look at help now. Okay? And so help, they're saying here, there are 2 different ways to use help. What they're referring to is you can put a to or not a to. It's optional. Then again, they mean the same. So he helped me move. I feel like something's missing here. He helped me move. You could almost get rid of the house. He helped me move last weekend. So it's kind of implied if you say he helped me move last weekend, it's implied that you moved one house to another or one apartment to another. Or it could have been you moved from an apartment to a house. But he helped me move house. He helped me move out of my house. I'm not used to just saying house. So, and so again, we got the past tense here. Last weekend kind of implies that. Right? My dad will help me do my homework. My dad will help me do my homework. So again, he's going to assist, give you directions, give you pointers, And then the second part, the same two with the to added. He helped me to move last weekend. Again, not talking about the house. It doesn't feel like it's necessary. He helped me to move last weekend. So again, the to, you can have it or not have it with the base verb. Okay? My dad will help me to do my homework. So again, no to up here, but we have the to down here. So with help, the to before the base verb is optional. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. It's okay either way. And again, with the first three, I guess I'm stressing this because it's really helpful. Make, have, let. There can't be a to. So you won't have this in front of the base verb. Can't be there for the first three. With the help, it's optional. Maybe, maybe not. The last one, get, you have to have the to. So get is similar to make. Right? It means to make somebody do something, but basically you're convincing, begging, or persuading them. So kind of the difference between, let's kind of stress that if you have a son and you're saying you've got to clean up your room is a mess, and if you don't clean up, you're going to get in trouble. I'm going to ground you. You won't be able to go out for a whole week. So that is making the son, forcing them. But notice these words: convincing, begging, persuading. If you tell the son, if you clean up your room, we'll go get ice cream at McDonald's or Baskin Robbins. So that's persuading. So if the son says, oh, I want ice cream, he cleans up his room and you go get it. Well, you didn't force him. You persuaded him. So you would say, I got my son to get out, to clean up his room. Again, it can be through begging or convincing that this makes sense. So convincing means it makes sense for you to do this. Begging is saying, I need you to do this very badly. Persuading is maybe like, again, rewarding. So a little bit different. I guess if you're a manager and if you make your employees work hard, they work hard, but they may not like you. But if you instead say, I get my employees to work hard by persuading them, being nice to them, or giving them rewards, it's better. You know, some people say that's a lot better to do it that way, to get somebody to do something rather than make them. But so with ours, remember that you have to have the to. We got the teacher to finish class early. We got the teacher to finish class early. So again, this maybe the students begged. Use this one, please. We really want to get out early today. Please, please, please. The teacher gave in. So example number 2, I can't get my husband to help me clean the house. So this person, again, a wife, because it says my husband, she's saying she can't. She's trying to persuade them, convince them, her husband, but she can't. I can't get my husband to help me clean the house. Now notice they're using the help different here. So again, it's the base verb, what they're trying to do. And so you've got to have the to in front of it. Right? This last example, Fatima got Ali to buy her a ring. Right? So maybe they're engaged. So Fatima got Ali to buy her a ring. Again, persuaded. So Fatima persuaded Ali, or begged Ali, or convinced Ali. Doesn't this make sense? To, so again, you got to have the to in front of these. Okay? So we've gone over each one individually. Let's review a little bit now. Right, so we're going to review. So again, let me stress that if there's no to in front of the base verbs, then you know it's not these. You're really down to either help or get. Right? So if you see a to in front of the base verb, that's a big indicator. It's got to be one of these two. Okay? If there's no to, then it's possible it could be help, so you got more of it, but with the to kind of gives you, limits it a lot. All right? So if it has a to, if it doesn't have a to in front of the base verb, you know it's not get. Again, make me, have me. Again, this one's force. This one is to ask. My mother has me clean the dishes every night. So again, it kind of depends on your, that if the mother is asking, and that's kind of where you'd use have or paying. Let is again allow or give permission. Help is to do some of the work. Somebody's doing some of the work to help somebody. You got the optional to, and get is, again, they said it's a lot like make, but it's more persuade, beg, or convince. Like you logically explain to them that this is a good thing to do. So now we're going to look at, again, a lot of practice. Practice comes next. So here's some review questions. So what are the 5 casual verbs? Right? I might have, again, causal. What are the 5 causal verbs? Right? Let's see if you can think about them. Remember, there's 5. Just list them. If you make somebody do something, do they want to do it? Right? Well, if they wanted to do it, it wouldn't be called make. So, right? Remember, if you ask somebody to do something, it's not make. If you convince them to do something, it's not make. So if you make somebody to do something, do they want to do it? Right? If you have somebody do something, do you do it? All right. So think about that one. We'll go over them on the next page. What is stronger, make or get? What is stronger, make or get? Think about that one. What does let mean? What does let mean? And number 6 here, which causal verb always uses to in front of the base verb? Which one has to have a to? I said it several times. Let's look at the answers now. Okay. So what are the 5 causal verbs? Make, have, let, help, get. If you make somebody do something, do they want to do it? Usually no. Sometimes they might not mind it. Like a teacher may make students read a book, they're going to take a quiz on it or something, but maybe some of the students really like the story and enjoy it very much. So, but most of the time when you, that's kind of where the word make, you force somebody to do something. So they typically don't want to. That's why the word make. And if you have somebody do something, again, this word have, if you have somebody do something, up here, have, do you do it? And so no, somebody else does it. Number 4, which is stronger, make or get? Make is stronger. Again, with get, You're convincing somebody to do something. You're begging somebody to do something. Or, convincing, begging, persuading somebody to do something. And so this may be persuading, again, offering them money, reward for doing something. Number 5, what does let mean? Again, allow is the way I think about that. Closest meaning. To let means allow or give permission to do something. And which causal verb always uses to? We're at the get for that one. Get has to have a to. So now let's look at some practice. So we're going to do some practice now. Okay. So choose the best verb to complete the sentence. So my car broke down, so I blank the mechanic to check it. So I blank the mechanic, and this is, again, notice this, to check it. So this is the base verb, check. Check means to look over. That's the way we're using this. They're looking at my car. So again, we have the, so to check. So again, made, the first one. Now, notice here, broke is past tense. So all of these are past tense. Right? We have the to, the first 3 wouldn't use it. So, but again, talking about this, so I'll kind of give you the first one here. Got is the best answer. Let me explain that again, because the to first off, but my car broke down, so I made the mechanic to check it. Usually if you're paying somebody to do it, you don't make them do something. That's more you have them do it. So make doesn't quite go. Had would work out if you didn't have the to. Right? For the rest of them, I really won't answer, but I may give clues. Right? So number 2, Debbie always blanks her mother to cook. Debbie always blanks her mother to cook. Right? So again, to, we have a to here. So to cook, that's the base verb. That should tell you. Again, it eliminates a lot of it. That should help you pick the answer. We'll look at that one in a minute. Practice number 3 here. Our teacher blank us to do a lot of homework every night. Again, our teacher blank us do a lot of homework every night. So do is the base verb here. There's no to in front of it. So that should help you eliminate some of it. And so again, homework every night. Let's look at number 4. I don't think my manager will blank me have a day off tomorrow. I don't think my manager will blank me have a day off tomorrow. Okay? So again, so this is kind of the base verb is have. That's why we have it there. So they're almost like giving somebody something. That should kind of help you with it. Number 5, Martin thought he was sick, so he blanked the doctor to take his temperature. So again, to take. We have the take as the base verb, to. The doctor is the object. Martin, and he, kind of the same here. He's referring to Martin. So look at that, and you got a 2 in there. Okay. Now let's look at the answers for each of these. Yeah. Again, my car broke down, so I got the mechanic to check it out. Again, to check, so the first 3 is make, have, let, would be kind of eliminated. If you didn't have this 2 here, had could have worked out. My car broke down, so I had the mechanic check it. Again, no 2 if you were using the had, but as is, because we have the 2, got is the only correct answer there. Let's look at number 2. Debbie always helps her mother to cook. So again, we've got cook is the base verb. So we have 2. So again, the 2 eliminates make, have, let. So helps is the only one. Again, Debbie is third person, singular, only one Debbie. So that's why we have the S here. They all kind of have that. But the 2, if you didn't have the 2, Debbie always has her mother cook. It's possible. Let's look at number 3. Our teacher makes us do a lot of homework every night. So again, do was the base verb. We don't have a 2 in front of it, so it eliminated this one. Okay? Help, help go both ways. So without a 2, we could have either one of these, but this one logically, the teacher makes us do a lot of homework every night. That makes more logical sense because you're doing the home, it's at home. You do homework at home. The teacher's not there typically. So help is not the best answer. Makes is. Again, our teacher, you typically only have one teacher. So third person, singular. Let's look at number 4, I believe. Okay. I don't think my manager will let me have a day off tomorrow. Okay. So again, whoever's talking, writing this, they have a manager, and they're basically asking permission. So the day off tomorrow. So that's why, again, allow is the best one here. Make is again, to force me to have the day off. But so there is no, we got to have, there is no to. So the logic of it is let. The next one. Martin thought he was sick, so he got the doctor to take his temperature. Again, we have the to here in front of the base verb. So got, or it could be how. We kind of, the to kind of eliminated the had. Okay? But typically, and they were saying he got the doctor, so he helped the doctor take his temperature. Typically, you don't help a doctor take your temperature. So got is the best answer. Here we have some more practice. So again, complete the sentences. Remember to change the verb tense if you need it. My mother blank me blank TV after I finish my homework. Okay. So this one I'll kind of give it, but I won't give the others. Again, my mother is one person. You don't typically have two mothers. So if you put the my mother, you'd have to add the S. My mother lets me watch TV after I finish my homework. So let's look at number 2. Can you blank us, blank our house this weekend? And we got help and clean. That's a question mark. Can you blank us, blank our house this weekend? Yeah. Jawalar blanked the dentist, blank her teeth yesterday. So notice this is a key word here for past, yesterday. So you may have to change the verb tense of these. Okay. Number 4, I blank someone, blank my laptop when I broke it. Again, broke is past tense. So yeah, they kind of got this one already. Got is past tense. So look at that one and remember there's something special about this one. Number 5, Jennifer blank me blank my shoes when I visited. So remember, Jennifer is one person. Third, one singular, one person. First person is when you're talking about yourself. Person talking. When you're directly talking to somebody on the phone who you're talking to, or somebody right next to you, and everybody else is third. And if it's singular, we've got special rules for a lot of in English. Let's look at these answers. The first one. My mother lets me watch TV after I finish my homework. Again, you had to add, we had let, you needed to know to add the S to get it completely right. Okay. Next one. Can you help us clean our house this weekend? So again, they were not in the past, so you're just using them directly as written. No additions there. Can you help us clean our house this weekend? Next one. Jawalar had the dentist look at her teeth yesterday. So again, yesterday means past. So you needed to know have should have become had. So Jawalar had the dentist look at her teeth yesterday. So they had a dentist appointment. Next one. I got someone to fix my laptop when I broke it. So again, broke is past, so that's why we got, but you got to remember got has to have a to. So when we use fix here, we needed to know if you use I got someone to fix my laptop when I broke it. The to is required. Next. Okay. Jennifer makes me take off my shoes when I visit her. So again, Jennifer is one person's talking about somebody else, not me, not you. So we need the S. Jennifer makes me take off my shoes when I visit her. Again, can't be a to because it's the first 3 in front of the base verb won't have a to. We're going to do some more practice. So this one, complete the sentence with a casual verb. Remember to change the tense if it needs to be. Not all of them need to be. Okay? So again, we've got make, which is for somebody to do something. We have, which is asking or paying somebody to do something. We have let, that is basically allowing or giving permission. Help, which of course somebody's assisting somebody to do some of the work. And get is when we're not forcing somebody to do something, but we're trying to beg. It's beg, convince, or persuade. So persuade is kind of if you reward somebody to get something, to do something. Convince means you're just talking to them, saying this is a good idea. And beg is when you really need it, but you don't have anything to give them. So again, make, force, have, ask, or pay, let, allow, help do some of the work, somebody does some of it. And get is you're not forcing them, but you're persuading them or convincing them. So which one goes where? Number one, I wish my dad would blank me go to the wedding. So wedding, two people getting married, wedding. What do you think goes here? Okay. Hassan's mom blanked him, take out the trash. Hassan's mom blanked him, take out the trash. Number three, my sister blanked me to study English. So I guess looking at go is the base. Here, take out is the base. My sister blanked me to study. So we have the to in front of this. That tells you something about eliminating some of the others. My uncle blank, my brother. And so drive is the base verb. So there's no to in front of that. Number five, how can I blank my students? And here, to do. So we have do, and so the to is the base, to do their homework. So to is in front of the base. That's an indicator. Okay? This one last year, so puts us in the past. Last year, my parents blanked me, limit my time in the shower to conserve water. To save water is what conserve means. To save water. Limit my time. Limit is the base verb, no to in front of it. Okay. Number seven, I blank my husband to reduce. So notice reduce is the base, to reduce the amount of water he uses. I blank my husband to reduce the amount of water he uses. We have a to in front of that. Base verb of reduce. Go down. Okay. Number seven, the teacher always blanks her students, write paragraphs about how to help the environment. So her students in the base verb here is write. So we don't have a to in front of it. Okay. Number nine, will Saudi Arabia blank visitors pollute the ocean? Pollute is the base verb. There's no to in front of it. Visitors is the object. Okay. Number 10, the last one here. I didn't know how to do it. Okay. But my brother blanked me to start recycling. Again, start is the base. It does have a to. So that eliminates some of the answers. Okay. Now we're going to look at these. Let's see what the answers are. Okay. I wish my dad would let me go to the wedding. So let, again, he wants permission to go to the, I wish, that's kind of implies that we're talking about permission. So let is the answer. I wish my dad would let me go to the wedding. Next one. Hassam's mom made him take out the trash. So they put it in the past. I don't really see another one, but nothing wrong here. Hassan's mom made him take out the trash. If you'd made this present, meaning that she does it over and over, Hassan's mom makes, has to be an S, him take out the trash. So the made puts it in the past. Right, number 3, my sister helps me to study English. All right, so again, to study English, my sister is doing some of the work, giving me advice. And so my sister's only one person, so that's why it needs the S. Okay? Next one. My uncle blanked my brother drive his car. So again, this seems like a situation that allow. My uncle let my brother drive his car. So I think there's an S missing here actually. So in the answer, my uncle, well, only one time. If it's, all right, so this is past tense here. It's over. My uncle let my brother drive his car. So this is an example that past, no difference in let. Okay. If it was all the time, it would be my uncle lets my brother drive his new car. That would be as if it's present. Let's look at the next one. Okay. So how can probably I as a teacher, get my students to do their homework? So how can I get my students to do their homework? Again, the teacher's kind of thinking, how do I persuade them? You know, that, again, it helps them learn better. They'll get better grades to talk about that. So she's not really trying to talk about making them, but how to persuade them, to convince them. Because she's not at home, so to basically follow through. Okay. Last year, or in the past, my parents made me limit my time in the shower to conserve water. So my parents made is because, again, last year here, made. It's got to be past. And we don't have a to, so that eliminated God at the end. Next one. I am getting my husband to reduce the amount of water he uses. I am getting my husband to reduce the amount of water he uses. So again, this is currently happening. If you look at it, the past situation, I got my husband to reduce the amount of water he uses. So it kind of depends on, it's happening right now. They're still working on it maybe a little bit, the wife is reminding the husband every day. But if it's over and he's reduced the amount, then you would use got. Next one. The teacher always has. So again, the teacher's only one person. The teacher always has her students write paragraphs about how to help the environment. So this needs to be have, but it needs to be the version because it's third person singular. The next one. Will Saudi Arabia blank visitors pollute the ocean? So this one is, will they allow them? Will Saudi Arabia let visitors pollute the ocean? So no to, so that eliminates God. And so it doesn't, if you kind of put the other ones in there, will Saudi Arabia make visitors? That doesn't sound right. Will Saudi Arabia have? That really doesn't, are they asking them to, paying them? That doesn't make sense. So, And will Saudi Arabia help visitors? Well, that doesn't make so let because of the logic of the sentence. Next. I don't know how to do, I didn't know how to do it, but my brother helped me to start recycling. Again, I didn't know, didn't is past, so that's kind of where the ED is necessary. So we have to start, since we had the two that only really was help or got. The other three were eliminated because of the two there. My brother got me to start recycling. I guess that's possible. But help, I think, goes as that helped me to start recycling. Because this person said, I didn't know how. So that's why the brother helped with it. Okay. That's the end. I hope you learned something. Again, this was Book 6, Unit 7, Grammar 2. It was causal verbs. Make, has, let, help, and get. I hope it didn't bore you too much. Have a good day. We're going to stop now.